Alright, we're back for some more Ace Attorney. Continuing Rise from the Ashes, and we are actually going to get to the trial today. February 23rd, 9:34 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. And don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So, I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. February 23rd, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lotta Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of today's proceedings, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lotta Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's so much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. The cough-up queen. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And, for you, I have a fiesta bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please? Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Ah, I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans added to the court record. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright, I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, are they talking about me? Witness's account. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Let's do it. Alright, let me look at court records, see what I have. I guess I'll just press everything I can. How did you know? I respected the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired? To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend. The security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, This boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants.
I'll stick with the lunches, thanks.
Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. You sensed something. So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... how would you say... oh, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
I have no idea what that means.
Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim, Mr. Bruce Goodman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
Young cheese?
A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn.
Then I must be hard, yellow, and sharp as a tack.
Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there, in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth's?
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it?
Indeed, it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those sillies' opinion to yourself in the future, rookie.
Huh? Rookie?
Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That was inspiring.
I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed.
A photograph? You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all.
Yes, that's about right.
Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify to his ability to kill an egg. I mean a person. Perhaps the chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor.
So the defendant was holding a knife. What then?
Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise a knife to strike, no?
The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late.
Too late?
Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon.
I see.
It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty?
Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we?
For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that.
So, now I have this. But, there's nothing...
Time of death. Between 4 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood from chest wound. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. Single stab wound was found. Cool.
Wait a minute.
But it was her left hand that's injured. Is there... no prints because she had gloves. Okay. But I don't have anything that would, like, tie that together. There's nothing that specifically says... Maybe if I press the statement again? Okay. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna present it and see what I can do. Because clearly her left hand is the one that was injured. But she says she held the knife in her right hand. There we go. And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes, I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch.
I'm sure that is a fine lunch.
But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Skye not holding a knife?
Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter.
Huh?
See the dark crimson stain on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph.
Ah, Yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood.
Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you.
No problem, except you.
Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? Ugh, you've got a better idea? Let's do it. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony, namely that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-size lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph.
Well, are those gloves?
Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. What?
These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Premeditated murder, a serious offense.
Witness, add this to your testimony.
Except it wasn't. I think there's got to be something else. Because of the fact that it was Edgeworth's car. Nope. I guess just press her on it for now. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. Then why aren't they in the court record? They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime.
Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr.
This is bad. She's got them thinking it was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that it wasn't premeditated. Yeah, I know. Okay. But that's the thing, though. Like, it had to have... Maybe? Nope. The fact that it was Edgeworth's knife also kind of says that. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there? The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh! This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon.
Order, order, order.
Great. Now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing?
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor has a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could try that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Oh, no.
The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So, if I order pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Oh, I got you this time. Yeah, you say she intended. But you say he was stabbed multiple times? But look at this. A single stab wound. You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Ah, you're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
What a hunk. He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed?
Well, witness?
You got the crime scene set, right?
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could have a mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Cause, look at this picture. Her muffler scarf ain't nowhere to be found. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? I mean, we're just double teaming her at this point. Don't take that out of context. But it was there. A scarf. No, not that. But something red. Really? Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What?
Very well, witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? How did you read my mind? I was saying that in the head. The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to the side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. Well, that wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is kind of like a snake. Is a kind of snake. What am I saying? Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. I mean, that's just kind of a human condition. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will.
Alright. Don't really think there's anything specific. Yeah, I'll just press her. So where's this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then?
You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. I mean, there's a whole fence there. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The lunch lane car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here?
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain-link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing, the cough-up queen, lunch lady athlete indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word?
So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean. I got it. By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately?
My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court does not see, Miss Starr.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order.
So she used her cell phone?
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please the rookie defense attorney.
Lana's cell phone, updated in the court record.
I saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall but had to use her cell instead. Except that you couldn't have seen the floor plan like that. You couldn't have seen it because of the wall. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you'd be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it.
Order, order! What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about where she saw it. Miss Skye tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it.
Pointless to lie. I see.
But say the witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Because you call my lie before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we heard until now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Starr witnessed the crime was here, in the security room. This is the only place where she could have been.
The security guard room?
Indeed, the security room is in the underground parking lot, is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime in the back partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Starr.
Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Skye? Mr. Wright, didn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh. She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference. But what? What would change? The angle. Right? Because she'd be viewing it diagonally. She wouldn't be viewing it in a straight, vertical way. Why, the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change.
The angle? What do you mean?
Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of more of a 3D view of the crime.
And this is important. Why? Perhaps you'd like to reconsider, Mr. Wright?
I mean, it's still technically true. Mr. Wright? Okay, yeah, shut up. Okay, so I guess that means... the distance. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take for her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye?
Well, witness?
You.
Yes?
You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with my fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boys.
God damn it. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block.
That's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes? This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely. Uh-oh.
Mr. Wright, you had to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time, if you like it al dente. I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange?
Strange.
If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah!
Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it. We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close.
I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned, and with that, court is adjourned.
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off of me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else left to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr.
Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I will allow one more testimony.
All right, buddy. I know you just want to wolf down your lunch.
Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she's going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? Decisive evidence. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
What? There was blood found on that shoe?
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed. Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
In any case, Your Honor,
I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty solid. You could at least study some evidence law, really.
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law.
Yeah, why doesn't Phoenix know this? That's kind of stupid.
However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
Victim's shoe added to the court record. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Let's do it. I think I know what I gotta do. Yep. 2 types of blood. So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective.
The shoe does not appear to have blood stain. It does appear to have blood stains on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie.
Huh?
Well, speak up.
Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB.
However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood.
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright.
Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results, but they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone else but Miss Lana Skye.
So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe.
That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. But I don't think it is. There's blood here too, on the sole of the shoe. It's got to be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood, it's horrible. This blood might be an important clue. This blood, it's my sister's, right? It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in the jail. I'm thinking the wrong hand. I don't know why I was thinking the hand thing. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis. Wait. Nope. There it is. Alright. Hold on 1 second. I need a drink.
Oh, well, that's good. Whew. Oh, actually, I will be right back. Okay. Turns out I didn't need to go. Okay. Okay. Unfortunately for you, this shoe is far from being perfect evidence. What? This shoe directly contradicts what we know about the crime. The shoe doesn't fit. Order. Order. You're claiming there's a contradiction with this shoe. As I said, the shoe doesn't fit what we know about the scene of the crime. Very well, let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say about the shoe. What about this shoe contradicts what we know about the crime? Show us the problem with this evidence. Well, firstly, the fact that the problem with the evidence is here. Where? Take that finger and point it at your own head, Mr. Wright. Guess that wasn't it. Mr. Wright, let's be scientific about this. Examine the evidence. As I thought, a waste of time. Well, that was an icebreaker. Let's return to... No. We're not doing this. Blah, 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 blah. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order, order, order. Well, witness? What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction, but then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh. That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, that one. A leopard woman. Rawr. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, Was it empty?
Oh, that? I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth, though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness. Well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water.
Water? What does that mean?
Still don't get it, Mr. Wright.
Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean...
Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone.
To erase the bloodstains that would have become evidence against her. That tied things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe?
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please! What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But...
Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor? Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water.
This court finds the defendant, Miss Lotta Sky.
Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court.
Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this!
A photograph.
I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt in this photo! Hey, it's clearly wet.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from this court's mind, immediately after the murder the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right. Wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph. The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, right. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah. I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this photograph.
So the victim... The muffler's here. The problem in this photograph is here.
What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor?
You just said...
Oh, I read the wrong thing.
Muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph.
A muffler is also part of a car on a part on a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I see, and I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth that's sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
Is it? Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Ugh. Yeah. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence.
Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
I will find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once, and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so. Whew. That was close. But we made it, at least for now.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime, after all.
He's still hungry? Bro, jeez. What, you and Maya both have extra stomachs? Alright. Hopefully the latter part won't take too long. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much. Except today, we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with the piece of cloth. Why aren't you there? You are her lawyer. You're supposed to be there with her. So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner.
They say you show a red cloth to a bull and fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin', at least.
Officer Marshall.
Thought I'd come take a look, see how's the trial going. Looks like I'm late. They got the home range locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory.
That's that hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge.
Oh, you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre. You could be worried about the chief prosecutors taking mufflers, for example.
Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf.
You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day, too. He was wearing a red muffler.
What?
At the award ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth seen it too, I reckon.
What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken?
Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. Sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell.
Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Hoo-wee!
February 23rd, 12:32 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 9.
I'd like to resume.
What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution.
Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those gritty teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over, your back is bent.
It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation.
This is unacceptable.
It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself.
Excuse me. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Oh, this guy. Oh. What's with this guy? Oh man. You know, I feel like if there was ever a westernized live action version of Phoenix Wright done here in the States, I feel like Mark Hamill should play this guy. I don't know why, he just gives me Mark Hamill vibes. Like, he'd have to do it in the Joker voice, too. A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Also, he's Satan. He's literally Satan. Who on earth is he? I think it's, who in hell is he?
Ah, it's you.
Just the stare. Oh. Sorry I'm late, Audrey. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Audrey? How you been? Swim much these days?
Hello. No, I've been so busy.
Busy, smishy, Ozzy, my boy. You have to make time to relax.
Yes, indeed.
Audrey seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? So you're righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks? Oh, so sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little worthy?
Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police?
Chief of police?
He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district.
It's the fucking stare. Name's Gant. David Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So he is literally a demon.
So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed to that exhaust pipe. Oh, little Worthy's car, no less. God, why is he always giving bedroom eyes? It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document, where it says, person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there, Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. The day of the crime, I had... Your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'd expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean this mess up that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at that blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor. Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, clearly, the pointing is more important. Come on, just hurry it up and open it.
Oh, God, why can't you just go around like I do it? It's simpler that way.
Don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife's blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain? Blood?
Switchblade knife added to the court record. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between prosecutors and the police and this night? Oh, sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really. Department in disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say how here, unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this Kia case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Archie. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order.
Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay?
I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright?
Two detectives killed at the same time in two different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
There's a small tag on the knife. It says SL92. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6? Maybe it's a case number? That's weird. What? I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on this tag. It wasn't that long ago either. Maybe I should check the court records again. Okay. I'm going to give this a shot because I know this is what it's supposed to be upside down. Um, but if it's not gonna work, then yep, nope, there it is. Okay. No. Okay, so I guess I just have to press him. This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about this knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, Righto. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. So how were things down at the department? Okay, yeah. Okay. There we go. Right evidence, wrong statement. Wait a second. At last, an honest to goodness objection. This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean?
And honest to goodness, what do you mean from... Ah, gee, this is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92.
And this is important. Why?
Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim.
What's this? 6 minus 7 S 12 2?
Your Honor, it's upside down.
Upside.
The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around, and what do you get? Aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Order! Order! Well, Chief? Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto! I win? What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it, in fact, a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice. Good show, Little Worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So, something did happen, and why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter. I understand. You were busy with that Lana, what with Ulana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Archie? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested. That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, righto? I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. Ooh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. We already know when the victim died, which was 5:15. I guess how the victim was killed. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. A knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit we're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. Seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. So I have to say again. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second. I have heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? The knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. So when did the murder at the police department occur?
Now that's a sharp question, righto. Very sharp.
Well, my boy, you're gonna love this. Five 5:15? But that's when Detective Goodwood was killed in the prosecutor's office.
What?
Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place, and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances? Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. But now, I can say that it's officially linked because of, right? Nope. Do I have to present the thing again? Nope. I guess just press him on it. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven.
You don't say. Well, out with it, righto. What's your connection?
Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place, mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room.
Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence.
God, that fucking stare.
You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here.
Chief, I requested you release your information on the victim at the police department.
See, that's the tricky part.
It hasn't been announced yet, and all. Can we get the information unofficially?
Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all.
What? Really? Who would have guessed? If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything?
Well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly.
Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number?
Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell her who it is from that.
Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all.
We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. Well, that's quite a lot. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts.
82? I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right.
Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything?
The ID number of the victim at the police department. Hold on. Yep. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think.
Meaning?
It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean?
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you?
Witness.
What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night.
No, it's just, I got confused.
And this is news?
Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do. The police department. The prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here.
Oh, is it yours?
No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman.
Shame on you, righto. Personnel IDs are top secret.
Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189.
And this means what exactly?
Huh?
Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier, that started with 82... I've forgotten.
You didn't even get the first number right. Again. The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189.
Wait a second, Wright. What does this
mean? And that's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that?
Oh, sharp as a tack, righto. Sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot.
Yet a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room at the exact same time.
That's impossible.
So, what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, and in a completely different location.
Order, order, order! Chief, what's this mean?
No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case.
Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered.
Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case.
Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight. The grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours.
What? How dare?
We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news.
Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir.
You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on top of the report. Gah! Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. Wow, Emma.
In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then
It's the fucking stare. I can't get over it.
No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy.
What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Well, Mr. Wright?
Huh? Oh, well, it's Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial.
And how is this rule relevant?
Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list.
So, what does this mean?
I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Righto over there. Good job, Righto, my boy.
Huh? I was just doing my job.
No. No!
It seems we have come to the end of this trial.
I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors? You were even the defendant's chair just this past December.
I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do.
You'd better get results this time.
Really? You have my profound apologies, sir.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well, court is adjourned.
And there it is. Whew. Yeah, I forgot these segments can take really long. Let's hope the investigation next time doesn't take as long. Whew. But yeah, I love the fact that we have this guy now. Knowing him, man, I really do think Mark Hamill could play that guy. He has to do it in the Joker voice, though. He can only do it like that voice. It's so good. Oh, man. Alright. See you next time.